Okay, so I did ask you guys what video you guys wanted to see. Either a vinyl collection update, a color vinyl collection, part two, or five records that you need to own, or five CDs that you guys need to own. And a lot of you guys wanted this one, and this one got the most votes. And so I'm here back again. It's been a while since I filmed a video, so I'm going to show you guys five records that you guys need to own on vinyl. And I'm only going to show you guys records that are kind of like easy to get. I'm not going to include any rare records. I'm only going to include the ones that you guys are going to be able to get after you guys see this video. And hopefully, if you guys do end up getting any of these five, just because you guys saw this video, then please let me know. And I'll probably do part two of this video, and then a part three. Probably, I don't know. I'll see how good this video does. If it does good, I'll do more of this. The first record that I'm gonna talk about is it's actually not a hip hop album, and that's Trendy and Alex. The reason why this is a record that you guys must own is because if you guys haven't listened to this project, then buy it on vinyl and listen to it for the first time on vinyl, because that's probably the best experience that you're going to get from this album. If you guys buy the album, and it's a good album to listen to at night too. Like it's like one of those albums that just sound better at night in a nice like relaxed place. You know what I'm saying? I think this album is easy to get. I want to say it is, but I know this album comes in and out of stock. It's not a rare. It's not a rare record. It's actually a record that you guys could get easily. And honestly, this is probably my favorite album to play on vinyl. So that's why I had to include this on here, just because it's easy to listen to. It's only one LP, so I'm telling you, this album is like a short album. So if you guys ever want to just relax on a nice Saturday night, on a nice Sunday night, then go ahead and throw this on, because this, I'm telling you, her voice is beautiful and it sounds great on vinyl. Um, but yeah, the first album that I recommend, or that you guys need to get on vinyl, is Trendy and Alex by Phoebe Bridgers. Okay, the next album that you guys need to own on vinyl is it actually comes from my favorite artist of all time. And obviously, since I'm making this video, I was like, there's no way that I'm not like, I just had to include a record from my favorite artist on here. And I thought about it for a fat minute, and I decided that this is the album that I feel like people should get if you guys don't have any albums from Kanye West. Then start off with this one, and that's Yay by Kanye West. The reason why I have this and not College Dropout or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is, one, it's a cheap record. It's only like $15, $20. It's one of the cheapest records that you guys could get on vinyl, and it's an easy listen. It's only 7 songs. Anybody can enjoy this, honestly. From songs like No Mistakes, Wouldn't Leave, Ghost Town, Yikes, it's a hype song. Um, and yeah, it's an easy listen, just one LP. You guys don't have to go back and forth on like changing the album and whatnot. It's only just the one LP and easy listens. I think it's only like 23 minutes, I think. So yeah, that's why I have this record and not College Dropout or his other albums. It's not my favorite Ye album, but I feel like it's an easy album to listen to. If you guys are not a fan of Kanye West, um, and if you guys want to get into him, I kind of want to say I would recommend listening to this one first. But again, this is nowhere near his best work. Okay, next one up, I just had to include a trap album, and honestly, this is probably one of my favorite trap albums of all time, and it just came out last year, and I'm telling you, there's not a better time to buy this than now. We're close to it's almost the anniversary of this album, the 1 year anniversary of this album, and this album I think honestly, it sounds better during the fall around Halloween time. And that's Savage Mode 2 by 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. This album right here is one of the best albums of last year, and there's almost like this album is almost perfect. Honestly, there might be a couple of skips, but other than that, this album is it's good, and it's a good trap album uh, to listen to on vinyl. Normally, trap albums aren't really good to buy on vinyl, but this one, for some reason, it sounds so good. Now, I'm not sure if this translucent red is the standard version of the album or if it was a limited edition thing. But if it's a standard version of the album, then yeah, I highly recommend getting this. It's a nice translucent red. And then at first, I wasn't a big fan of the album cover, but now it kind of grew on me, honestly. But yeah, a great album to listen to during the fall. And I'm telling you, I was surprised of how good this sounded on vinyl. Many Men sounds good. Plus, we even get Morgan Freeman on here. Morgan Freeman on vinyl? That's crazy. But yeah, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin did their thing. And that's why I recommend getting this album on vinyl. It's a must own, and this will look good in your collection for sure. The next album, I don't know. I felt like I had to include a Mac Miller album. And so, you know what? I decided that I wanted to pick this one just because this one does have a standard version of this album. So if you guys can get the Urban Outfitters one, then just get the standard version, which is just standard black. But the album that I'm talking about here is "Women" by Mac Miller. Now this one is the Urban Outfitters exclusive. If you guys can get this, then get this one instead. It's a nice blue, and you have another color vinyl to add to your collection. But if you guys can get the Urban Outfitters, uh, then just buy the standard black version. I am sure it just sounds as good as the Urban Outfitters one. The reason why I have this on here is just because it's a great album, and I feel like everybody should just own this album. If you guys don't have a Mac Miller project in your collection, then what a better way to start off than with Swimming. I feel like it pretty much has everything that Mac Miller does. Like he sings, he even raps on here. And yeah, I'm telling you, this is almost like a perfect album. It's not perfect, but it's almost like a perfect album. There's songs on here that sound so much better than on streaming platforms. Like the songs like 2009, um, Come Back to Earth sounds good on vinyl. Don't Know, that shit sounds amazing. Wings also sound good on vinyl. And also, this is like a hopeful album. So if you guys ever feel down, if you guys ever feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, then this album is almost like it helps me if I ever feel down or if I ever feel like I can't get um, out of the situation that I'm in. And so I always put on this album just because this is just an album that helps me get through it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Mac Miller did a good job with this project. He did an amazing job. Okay, last but not least is After Hours by The Weeknd. Some would consider this the best album of 2020. It's not my favorite album of 2020, but it definitely was or is in my top 10 favorite albums of 2020. It really is that good. And it's up there in his discography. Some would consider this being his best body of work. If I had to rank his discography, this will have to be in his top three. Probably not top one. It's probably not my favorite, but it's definitely top three. The Weekend After Hours. Now my copy is the red and clear splatter vinyl. Um, I'm not sure if that's the standard of this album. I don't think it is. I think the standard is just standard black. But I'm pretty sure that sounds just as good as this one sounds. It really is a album that I feel like everybody should own. Just just because of how much hits this album has. It has No Child, Scared to Live, my favorite song on this album. After Hours, the title track, sounds amazing on vinyl. Uh, Save Your Tears, let me think, Faith, Heartless. This album has a bunch of bangers, Blinding Lights. Come on now. And obviously, this album sounds good on vinyl. I won't recommend an album that doesn't sound good on vinyl to you guys, um, since I'm pretty much just talking about albums that obviously are good and sound good on vinyl. So this album is obviously amazing and it sounds good on vinyl. I guess the only one that sounds okay on vinyl is Yay. It almost sounds the same as if you were listening to it on digital, but kind of a little bit better than on streaming platforms. But yeah, like I said, Swimming, After Hours, Trendy and Alex, Savage Mode 2 all sound amazing on vinyl. And this is not an exception. If you guys don't have a weekend project on vinyl, then highly recommend getting this as your first project from him. It's his most recent, but that's okay. It still sounds amazing on vinyl, and highly recommend it. Plus, it's a gatefold. The other ones weren't a gatefold. Um, and I think if you guys don't want to get the standard black version, I think Target has a exclusive, which I think it's like a gold and red splatter. Almost looks like vomit, but if you guys want to get a colored vinyl from for this album, then I think Target is the only one that has it right now. I'm not sure if you guys could still get this version of the album. If you guys can, then get this instead. Uh, but if you guys can't, then yeah, just get the standard black or the Target exclusive one. But yeah, the Weekend After Hours, highly recommend getting this album. But yeah, that is all, guys. That's all the albums that I have for today. If this video does good, if you guys want to see a part two, then let me know. I'll show you guys even more records that you guys need to own on vinyl. And then I'll probably do a CD version of this video. And then I'll do my vinyl collection update and my vinyl colored collection part two. But yeah, stay tuned for my monthly haul video. The month is almost over.